Good afternoon, everyone. Virgo Triad here. It is Monday, the 13th of November, 2017. We are quickly approaching Thanksgiving, and I hope everyone is staying nice and warm in those cold areas of the nation. Um, I'm hoping that everyone is looking forward to the great holiday season that we are quickly coming upon. I am going to take a few moments because I have decided that it's time to start debunking the big named conspiracy theories that are revolving around these TDA account, redemption movement, um, straw man fallacy issues. I have gotten such an overload of emails and comments that I have had to delete that are everything from personal threats to calling me every name in the book, including that I'm a government shill and all these other things. And under normal circumstances, this really doesn't bother me too much. But at this point, it's taking away from space and time that needs to be utilized by people who genuinely want real information, proven and verifiable facts that will provide them with some relief from the credit issues and the debt issues that they're facing. I am sick and tired of having to go and deal with these comments and these emails of people who are basically bashing me or bashing my videos on the fact that one of the other gurus is making a claim with no basis or law backing them. And of course, if I don't answer, then I'm hearing, or if I delete the comment, then I'm hearing, oh, well, she just won't address this or won't address that. I'm not going to go on a rant. I'm not going to roll in the mud. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one subject per day for the next few days on top of my debt consolidation series, and I'm going to simply debunk it. Period. End of story. I've had enough. I've tried to be tolerant. I have given people the benefit of the doubt. I have looked up all of the laws and been called every name in the book. The bottom line is that these debunks cannot be refuted. The only way you're going to be able to argue against these is if you simply are blinded entirely, not willing to look at the facts, not willing to watch the video, not willing to hear anything that's being said to you. Okay, so here we go. The first one we are debunking is the straw man. The basis for the straw man is very difficult to see at all. And I'm sorry, but it is. Even attempting to try to see it. And here is the main reason why. There's significant difficulties with the logic behind the straw man theory and the respective UCC code file or UC code filings. And the reason why is because not only do I not believe that the federal government created this alleged straw man, but the straw man theory is completely blown apart with just some very simple logic. The theory simply does not fit the facts we already know to be true. What's worse is that the theory sets its followers up for a massive, massive fall. I want everyone to think about this for a second. So, by definition, a straw man is a non existent person. That's by definition, okay? The biggest problem with that is if a person takes the argument to its logical conclusion in any reasonable application and someone challenges the argument, and they will, then the issue lands in court and you allege that they created a quote unquote straw man for you. They contest your allegation, saying, of course, no, we did not. The result is you have to prove the existence of a non existent person in order to win your argument. which is impossible. It isn't possible to prove the existence of that which does not exist. The cause has already been challenged in Supreme Court, and that is exactly what happened. The case was determined to be frivolous, which it obviously is. Now, when you're dealing with someone who has a narcissistic type of personality, and you get an argument of this sort, you're going to hear them say, well, prove to me that it doesn't exist. Or make them prove to you that it doesn't exist. And the simple fact remains, you cannot prove that something does not exist. Why? Because it doesn't exist. So that's all fun to play games with, but the truth is, it doesn't exist. Bottom line. It's a falsity, it's a lie, and it isn't ever going to be true. Now, the second thing that keeps being mentioned with regards to the straw man is the reason you are considered to be a straw man through the all capital letters of your birth certificate and your social security card and all of these different government registrations that you have. Okay, your driver's license, your marriage certificate, and all these different things. Supposedly, this is because you're a corporation, right? All corporations are in all capital letters. So therefore, if your name is in capital letters, that means you're a corporation, correct? Well, I would like for you to view a few things. We're going to start here. I want you to take a look at each one of these companies. And by the way, I've double checked. These companies' logos fit the exact description of what their company paperwork, corporation filings state. Look at the logo. Look at Fidelity. Is Fidelity in all capital letters? JP Morgan Chase. Is JP Morgan Chase in all capital letters? Bank of America. Is Bank of America in all capital letters? U.S. Bank. Do you see U.S. Bank have any capital letters? Look at Bayer. Both ways. Pfizer. Volkswagen. Ford. Okay, guys, start talking to me. Tell me why these are not all capital letters. You know these are corporations. Some of these are really the guys that are to blame for a lot of the problems that we have. Why aren't they in capital letters? Unilever. Crayola. Neiman Marcus. Macy's. Walmart, right on the building. And while we're on this subject, let's go a little further. Walmart. Walmart. And Walmart. Where are all the capital letters? The bottom line is this. A corporation can be filed with small or big letters. It doesn't make a difference. It has to do with what the corporation opts to do for not only their business name, but also for their logos. The fact that your name is in all caps does not prove that you are listed or traded as a corporation, not in any way, shape, or form. And if those two items that I just said to you, if those two things that I just put out in front of you doesn't help you to make sense of the fact that the straw man is something that has been made up, then maybe understanding what the real straw man fallacy is will help you to understand. The real straw man fallacy is a philosophical statement. And what it is when someone is arguing with you a point and they don't feel that they can win. I'll give you an example. If someone is arguing with you that 5-year-olds should not be using pencil with lead, number 2 pencils with lead in them, because lead is poisonous if it gets in your bloodstream. And the school board that is saying, no, your child has to have 5 number 2 pencils to come to school the first day, and they don't want to change their argument, and they want to use the straw man fallacy, they'll say something up to this extent. Can you believe this woman? This woman actually believes that pencils should be outlawed. Now, that wasn't your argument, was it? But the straw man fallacy says that they opted to skew the argument, to make it viewed by others that are watching, to make you look ridiculous. That is what the straw man fallacy is. Look it up. Not the straw man theory, the straw man fallacy. The straw man fallacy says that it is information through an argument that is skewed for the purpose of gaining a following or a backing for the party that cannot win the argument, so therefore they skew it to make it appear to be an argument that is different than what has been presented by the initiator. For all 3 of these reasons, this should prove to you that there is something very wrong with what is being peddled with regards to the straw man. Tomorrow, we'll have the next part of this series, because what I'm going to do is effectively debunk every single thing that's put on the forefront by these gurus and everybody else who's had an involvement in the Redemption Act. These are provable facts. Go look up in Wikipedia or any other encyclopedia or any other dictionary what straw man and the straw man fallacy means. Then look up the straw man theory. You're going to find all of the information I'm providing to you is either directly in front of you in my videos or can be looked up very, very easily. Fact, ladies and gentlemen, not belief, fact. Now, I am going to leave my comments filtered because I know that this series, as short as it's going to be, is going to bring up a lot of people yelling and screaming. And I know that this is not probably something that you want to hear, but it's time for you to wake up and realize that there are plenty of real and true horrible conspiracies against your government that are out there and true. Those are the ones you need to be paying attention to. Those are the ones that are separating us as people. Those are the ones that are separating the races. Those are the ones that are making us in an uproar and in chaos so badly that we can't see straight. Find the true ones. These that are being presented with the TDA accounts and the redemption straw man theory are not real. They've been debunked over and over again. And if you have not woken up to this fact, then I've got bad news for you. You're not awake. You are following someone else and taking their word for what your knowledge needs to be. And that is just really not awake. That is so asleep. It's sad. There are those that want to claim that I'm not awake. No, I'm sorry. If you believe in this, you're not awake. And you really need to do your own research. Because truthfully, standing in court and having to prove that a non-existent entity actually exists in order to prove your point is going ass backwards of what you are attempting to fight against in the first place. Open your eyes and think about it. Thank you for listening.